Welcome everyone, it's your boy Hardcorn, and we're here to talk about the lightning bolt herself, Uehara Rin. We'll take a deep dive regarding her strengths and attributes as a character. We'll also discuss theory and see if she's worth it in the first place for you. We'll start off with some setup. When I first got Rin, I didn't like her. I got mad, I kept getting mad, and I didn't like being that mad and tired all the time. So now I understand Rin better with some new outlooks. After looking around and experimenting, I came to the realization that Rin is effectively just Shiranui's side grade. Which had me thinking, I praise Shiranui for doing all these things, but chastise Rin for doing mostly the same. That's not right, so I sought to get the record straight and truly understand what's going on. So let's get into Miss Uehara Rin, because it's presentation day in her class. Starting off, to talk about Rin in this context is to also talk about Shiranui. Let's go over her a little. Shiranui is the concept character for Rin. Shiranui has a lot of attacks that set the baseline for many characters to come after her. Her wide AoEs, her wide coverage basic attack, and also some very powerful healing elements. Shiranui at one point was one of the worst characters in the game and now stands tall with some of the best. She received a retuning, and it's debatable on the aspect of her becoming overtuned because of it. The fluid nature of her water abilities gives Shiranui a nice fun usage for dramatizing the range and strength of her attacks. Hit like a tsunami is the name of the game for Shiranui. Strike hard, all at once, and with the force of a roaring ocean. Most attacks hit so very hard even with minimal boosts, you won't need to worry too much about not having enough strength. They wanted this strength again, but in another force of nature situation, and Rin fits the bill for that perfectly. Now Rin is the lessons learned from Shiranui. The idea of water and electricity mixing doesn't seem like it would work, however, they share a lot more than you think. The force of nature that is Rin's electricity can be applied to crowd control methods and also her attacks. It's apparent everywhere with her, and Team Gremory doesn't miss a beat in the particles department with the electricity. It's kinda nuts sometimes, and I almost wish it could turn it down or turn it off in some sort of way. Rin brings her own flair to the Shiranui toolkit and makes it all her own by having suction abilities, a draw-in attack, and teleportation. These sort of changes make her distinct from Shiranui, while also carving out her very own niche in terms of AoE destruction. The concept of striking like lightning isn't foreign to many. You hit hard, hit fast, but in a singular location. Rin makes her own way by having strong single target attacks, but with secondary effects that hit an area. It's very apparent with things like Chain Volt and Electric Volt. It lets her play on the move, sort of like Rolling Thunder if you will. Rin also uses her electrical powers to shield herself, which makes her that little bit more different than Shiranui. It's a great tool for not getting interrupted by a projectile, but you still gotta watch out for melee stragglers. Rin struggles with getting caught on a blind side, so a lot of secondary effects on skills are there to mitigate the chances of that happening. Whether that's through coverage, somewhat armored attacks, or just a sort of debuff, Rin can solve most of her problems, just like how Shiranui can do the same. She shares such a concept but a lesser extent. It helps you be a better player and learn greater spatial awareness. Rin, being the teacher that she is, always looks for a teachable moment. Where both of these girls come together is on a few aspects. One notable one is a looping or high uptime concept. Rin has Denki and Shiranui has Ganesian. The possibility of getting off both of these skills back to back is very strong. Shiranui can make an army of clones while Rin's Denki makes her an army of one. Both girls share a piercing ranged projectile. That doesn't sound like much, but it's actually really nice in a lot of scenarios. Rin and Shiranui also share the aspect of having a healing skill in a super strong color. Rin's Volt Spin in green gives her some crit juice to make all 4 hits heal real nice, and Shiranui's in red has plenty of synergy there to get the most out of it. Both girls having such tools to keep them healthy and do a ton of damage really helps out their viability. A tough similarity is also that both of them have a basic attack string with a long startup and swings. These swings have incredible coverage and power, but you gotta get past the first or second hit of the combo. Though, it's also to be said that they can solve this speed problem through buffs and positioning. Rin even has a weapon that can circumvent this alongside buffs. The concept of Shiranui getting overtuned is visible with Rin. The aspect of Gremory making effectively what is side-grade Shiranui just shows how strong Shiranui is. This then reflects onto Rin, who gets to play the same games and ideas as Shiranui, and gets to have the same level of strength as well. just on a more focused area rather than everywhere all at once. Similar to a lightning strike versus a tidal wave, Rin in my eyes can stand with some of the game's best due to her speed and variety of coverage, not to mention her ease of use and viability in all colors. Even blue, a color known to be lacking unless you're the type, can be made to quote-unquote work with her. I'll leave with this. Rin's a very good character that is viable with whatever your gear is at. She's pure strength and doesn't have very many problems to solve, just 1 or 2 steps below Zero System Emily and built Astaroth in terms of brain dead to play. If all you're in the mood for is a bimbo powerhouse and you've got crap equipment, go get Rin. She's got the strength to tame and the brains to think so you don't have to. If you pick her because she's hot, you surely are not going to be disappointed, I'll tell you that much.
Oh lordy, wasn't that something? Thanks for coming on out and learning with your boy Hardcorn. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment too, because I'd love to hear from you guys and maybe get some ideas from where to go next. And as always, I'll see you next time.